Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really.
Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans? No! You're talking about shenanigans, right?
It's always weird to see red rockets on dogs, because when they pop out, dude, it's all sticky and wet. You think it's a popsicle, so you lick it, but then you're like, oh, why am I doing this? This isn't right. I'm gonna go to hell for this. And then all of a sudden, Satan pops up from under the ground, right?
And he says, welcome to
Punk ass.
and Random Heroes Cheeky Shenanigans.
This is gonna be a fucked up cheeky shenanigans, to tell you that much.
I
Red
am
Rocket.
Jesse, aka Random Hero.
And I am Punk ass, aka Nick Carter, everybody's favorite Backstreet Boy.
And why were you starting this one off talking about red rockets and popsicles?
Because
Satan?
I've been craving Rocket Pops lately. So then I was thinking Rocket Pops, and then Red Rocket, Red Rover, send the dog right over. So
Any
anyways,
peanut butter needed on that one?
dude, that's a total fucking myth. That's debunked. They'll fucking use anything. You can put mayonnaise, jelly.
There's not a grosser thought
You
I've
can
had.
soak your balls in some pickle juice. They like that.
Ugh. Pickles are the worst thing ever.
I love pickles, dude.
So many people do.
And I even love the green olives too. That have the red pinto.
I'm okay with those.
Oh, you like those?
Yeah, they're fine.
Well, it's really fucked up how you don't eat the black ones.
I do like the black
And
ones.
that's not what you said, earlier.
I wasn't talking about olives.
Oh. Hey, speaking of olives, what's like your favorite nipple? You know,
Like on a person, or
like
just like out of my
on
own, or
on a chick. Like every
whichever
guy,
one she's showing me.
like, well, yeah, there's always that, but usually there's always one where like you have a preference or like your favorite nipples. It's like I don't like chicks that have like big areolas. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're talking about like what type of nipple do
Yes.
you like?
Yeah.
Oh.
See.
Yeah, there's a preference to be had there.
See,
So what, you like the really tiny ones?
I like the small areolas, and if they have like a little bit like I don't know, like it's like a breastfeeding nipple. I guess that's what I'd say. Like those are like the best kind.
Why are those the
I
best
don't
kind?
know. It fits perfectly in my mouth.
Is that is that actually your favorite? Or
Yeah,
is
no,
this all just
that's actually
BS?
my favorite.
Okay.
It's weird, but I don't know.
I think I do tend to like the smaller, landscape size of the nipple itself.
Yeah.
Like as far as, width or circumference, if you will, but like within, I don't know, around, $1.50 piece, something like that.
Yeah.
It depends on the boob too, Like,
Have you seen the banana looking boobs? Is it kind of like pointy banana dude?
like in National Geographic.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what happens when you don't wear a bra your whole life, I guess.
Is that what happens?
That or you get these.
I wanted to bring that up to you because I was like, I wonder
Why?
what Jesse's favorite nipples are because these are mine. I want to know what Jesse's are.
Okay, so like if you're gonna watch porn,
Yeah.
do you like to watch it with a girl who's like really skinny and like fake boobs, or like a little more curves, or what do you normally look for in porn?
It's I try to mix it up. You know what I mean? I usually don't like to have like a really big dick in there because then like I'm just like it kind of like ruins it for me. I'm just like, wow, I wish I was that big. And
Fantasy destroyed.
Yeah, I know.
Then you're just watching it with dick envy instead of actually enjoying it.
That's exactly it.
I don't know what you mean. I'm just guessing.
No, you do know. I try not to read the titles of the porn anymore because I don't know where these, like who.
How do you mean?
Like it's all about like I banged my stepsister or I'm banging my stepmom or I don't know what's with this family fetish we got going on this day and age.
It's for all the people who enjoy like the sister porn, but they'd feel bad if it doesn't say stepsister. It's their safety buffer zone,
So I just kind of look at the pictures now and avoid the title. So I could be watching something that says totally fucked up, and wouldn't even know.
Well, I don't mean to get all deep for a second, giggity, but if I think that it might have something to do with the fact that more people in this generation have step siblings or stepmoms or shit like that.
So,
you know?
if you would actually bone your stepsister, does that make you gross then? Or does that make, is there like a fine line to where it's okay, but it's frowned upon?
Well, I think in the context of most of these videos you're watching, it would still technically be not okay or frowned upon. But I think that's a tough one. I mean,
It is a tough one.
I grew up having a couple stepsisters and was never like sexually attracted to them. But if like, so they had a cousin who was like technically family.
Yeah, by marriage or something?
Well, by marriage, but also like not even my stepsister's sister. It was like their cousin.
Yeah.
So far removed, there's no blood or anything. You don't see this person all the time. And even that, like, I felt weird because I was like, man, she is hot. and there's no family with my real cousins. You know, it's never anything like that. But, you know, there was enough space there that I can admit to that.
Yeah, right?
Never would have done anything, though. At least not while they were married.
I don't have any step siblings. They're all like they're all like half blood related, so it'd still be incest halfway.
Is that why you haven't banged Wade yet?
No. I've been waiting for him to like fall asleep. And I'd be like, tickle, tickle, tickle.
That's why. So you weren't disturbed by the fact that it was step siblings. You were disturbed that everyone was just trying to bang their step sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
You poor thing.
I don't you know, these millennials these days, you know, with the tattoo face and fucking family porn and
Yeah, what's up with the tattoo face? You've been on that one for a while.
it's just, I guess it comes with, you know, age and fucking different decades, okay? I guess we're all gonna get like 2030, it's gonna be fucking braid your pubes decade, you know? I don't know. It's like if you want to rap, you got to be cool and tattoo your face now, and then like make Instagram videos go brah brah and pretend you got guns. And
We were talking about that the last time I think DJ Fallen was on with the one guy who made a video of him shooting himself in the face or something.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know, guns, they're just fucking stupid. Just kidding. All you gun enthusiasts.
Wait, okay, so where do you weigh in on the gun issue? Might as well, since we're here.
I like guns. I own a gun.
You own a gun.
Yeah.
That scares me.
I know. And I even have a gun rack. I don't have enough guns to fucking use it.
What am I going to do with the gun rack, Wade?
I think, you know, we discussed this before, but there should be certain laws. You know, I agree with the whole 21-year-old thing. I mean, you can teach your son or nephew or nieces, nephews about gun safety, but, you know, I've been 18 years old before, and I was still acting stupid. So, I mean...
Well, yeah.
I feel like 18... Maybe it's like a permit driving. You know, you can own a gun, but you can only use it going out with your parents or somebody that's like 40 years old and knows what they're doing until you reach 21 years old. You know?
Yeah,
But-
you know, I even thought it might be cool to attach insurance to it. Like, if you're going to buy a handgun and get your conceal, maybe you should have to carry some kind of insurance in case you do something stupid with that, you know?
But I thought that's the point of the concealed weapons permit. Isn't that kind of insurance?
That's just giving you permission.
Oh,
Yeah.
permits. They suck. You know?
Yeah, but, like, it's still... I mean, I know that there would be no insurance company around who would dare want to touch being the first one to have to insure guns. But, you know, I mean, there's other... And technically, you know, driving is like a privilege, so I know there's a difference between that and a right. Don't bother tweeting about that shit. I really don't care to have political Twitter conversations anymore. But...
Yeah, don't sass us.
Don't you sass me, boy.
Stop doing your sassing around.
So how you doing, Nick?
Oh, dude, I'm fucking perfect. I'm feeling amazing. Life is just grand. It's like I'm floating right down little rainbows, passing unicorns by, dude. It's perfect.
Makes me wonder if you've ever actually been happy in your life.
I'm still trying to figure that out. You know?
Because I know that was all being sarcastic.
It was not, dude.
You really are enjoying your life right now.
Well, like today's fine.
Today was good, yeah.
Today's a good day.
We went out to Tony V's garage and we caught comedy night. But before that, you were out of the practice space working on some shit.
Yeah, I wrote a song finally because, you know,
Ooh.
I'm pretty good at writing songs. right? And
Is it going to be emo?
No, it's gonna be. I was trying to make a song to where it didn't sound like something the same as you can like base it off of. Like it doesn't sound like Blink-182, or it doesn't sound like some other poppy punk band, or like Deftones.
Does it sound like us?
I tried to make it like sound like us, but different, and it's gonna be really cool, I think. And I was gonna write the lyrics, and the singing's gonna be kind of totally different from what you're used to. I'm trying to get away from that pattern as well.
So you don't want me to write this one?
Well, I at least wanted to try to write it and see how it works, you know.
All right.
Because like me and you are the only ones I feel like write lyrics. Because Aaron doesn't write for shit.
No.
Ron probably doesn't because he doesn't know his ABCs. Eric probably can. He just hasn't mentioned anything.
He
yet.
does. I mean, he's written a couple songs. The thing is, and this isn't like I definitely want to hear what you come up with for this one. I'm not trying to discourage that. But the problem, most of the time when someone else writes lyrics to a song that I then have to sing, so it's hard for me to really connect to it passionately.
Like, yeah.
Like you got to try and put your head in the space of the person who wrote the song and be like, okay, why am I singing this? What emotions am I trying to convey?
Right. So that's exactly good because usually I would write some heartbreak girl bullshit as usual.
Yeah.
This time I'm going to try to write about something that matters or something that's fucked up happened and then write it in that perspective, I guess, instead of going with like heartbreaks. So
Yeah.
anyways.
No, keep going, man. I want to hear about your process.
Well, and then I wanted it to sound like, see, this is where it's going to get kind of fucked up because I was kind of using like Taking Back Sunday in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to kind of have like the vocal in one of their songs where like you sing and then like maybe Aaron comes in and it's like back and forth with each other. You know?
We've been talking about doing one like that for a
So
while.
I think that's what we're going to go off of for this one.
And it's not going to be emo, even
No.
though you just cited Taking
No.
Back Sunday.
No, it's not. Like it doesn't sound emo. It's not. It's not. I lost you. You know.
You didn't just redo that one?
I should.
I mean, if you still remember it, I would have fun playing that one again.
Oh, I remember. It's the only popular song I have.
I love that you call that popular.
Yeah, 'cause fucking, it's like I want it that way. You know, it's still here. It's still around.
Was that the Backstreet Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is one of your songs.
Yeah, that is
I
one
Want
of
It
my
That
songs,
Way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Backstreet's Back. That's a pretty good one.
You weren't
No-
cool enough to sing Sexy Back or any
No.
of those. But you got it. You Want It That Way.
Yeah, Timberlake's a bitch.
He's fucking hilarious, though.
Have you been watching Netflix at all? What do you watch when you're laying in bed? What platform do you use? And you're fucking yawning. And how disrespectful is that?
We're doing this show at fucking midnight right now. Of course I'm yawning.
Fucking, this is the party time. Party peeps. You know?
Well, yeah, but normally that window was bright. Normally I've just woken up and I'm tired for different reasons. This is a whole different side. And
Yeah.
plus I also smoked a little bit.
That's true.
Yeah.
You did smoke some buds.
Yeah, I don't know if it's working. Still got this kind of headache thing going on, which I know is amazing podcasting topics, but
I heard when you get migraine headaches,
Yeah.
you have like this afterthought of this dick you sucked earlier, and
yeah.
it pops. And keeps going right back in and out. No.
You heard or you remembered?
I remembered. You know, I hope this podcast gets a little bit more famous down the road, maybe a year or two from now, okay? Because this shit's funny.
It's
fucking
funny to
fun.
us.
It's gotta be funny to some other people too. You know,
We have some weekly listeners who usually, like, I don't even have to ask them anymore. Like, hey, what'd you think? They'll usually kind of send a text, and you know, for the first while, some of them are like, man, this is interesting and this is great. And then it was like we had some really good guests on. They're like, man, these are some of the funniest shows. And then now lately, it's kind of like, keep doing it.
oh yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Well,
No, they're sweet. It's it's cool. I mean, it's cool to have people think that you're funny and all that. But what I really like is that people just spend the time actually listening to it. You know?
yeah, I like being funny. I feel like we should bring up some serious topics.
We do now and then.
Yeah, like, you know, I was gonna ask you what platform you use, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I was watching Netflix and I was bored or trying to fall asleep, so I was watching
I'm a Netflix guy, by the way. Yeah.
Confessions. It's like 48 hours, but they show like the live confessions, right?
Oh, of like murderers and
Yeah,
stuff.
of crimes.
Okay.
But the point of this series, it's kind of new. It's showing how the fucked up cops back then would just interrogate you for hours and hours, even though you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
They would interrogate you, and you're to the point where you're like, "Fuck it, yeah, I did it.
You just wanted to.
I want to
over.
get the fuck out of here." And then I'll just have my lawyer just be like, "Oh, he was just kidding to get out of here," and it backfires in their fucking face, and then they get charged with that. I watched all of them. Some of them, I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I can see." He didn't do it. There was some where I was like, oh, dude, that guy definitely fucking did it. You know?
So you think that him coming on the show and saying he was lying about that was the big lie?
Yeah. It's just like the evidence, and, you know, they barely had like any evidence and everything. So the only evidence they really had was that confession. They didn't have like DNA. So like the jury would base it off their confession, and they just like got fucked over. And then like maybe like years later, they find the DNA and they get fucking bailed out. But it's still like, oh, well, I've been in jail all this time.
Yeah, there's been a few cases where, you know, more recent evidence and stuff has exonerated people 20, 30 years after being in prison. And it's like, yeah, be happy you're not there anymore, but they still ruined your entire life.
Like, if I accidentally did something fucked up and I had to go to prison, I don't know what I'd fucking do.
You would definitely be someone's girlfriend.
I would not let that happen, though.
You would, though.
I would get murdered. There's no way I could let a dick by my mouth or my butt unless they hold me down and rape me. That's the only thing.
And they would do that.
And I would have to find a way to grab somebody's balls. It's just, it sucks.
You usually find a way to do that.
I would try to go hang out with the Mexicans. That's what I would do. Be like, ole, Holmes! Hello, Beato!
I've never been to actual prison, but from what I hear, you pretty much have to join a gang to have any kind of
there's just no way you can be a fucking Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
You'd be a goner.
You'd have to be like the best fighter in jail to be the loner, you know?
Fight!
Yeah, and then you just kick like 30 guys' asses in a row. They'd be like, yeah, he can be on his own.
Did you ever watch, like, do you watch Black Mirror?
No.
Oh, man.
I watch really nerdy stuff when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Well, this newest episode of Black Mirror, right? Mm-hmm. They based it off these two buddies that played like this game that was kind of like Tekken or Street Fighter.
What is Black Mirror?
You seriously don't know?
I've never seen it.
It's just weird episodes of like the most idiotic or unexplanatory fucking shit like you can ever think of.
So it's not true stories?
No, it's not like a season where everything connects together. It's just all multiple shit. The weirdest shit ever.
And it's so kind of like a Twilight show?
Yes, exactly. Yes, there you go.
All right.
But and then it goes like 18 years later and they're grown up and the buddy comes and visits and buys them this game that's like updated like 20 years from like the last time they played. And it's like a virtual thing to where you put this thing on your temple and you start it up like a PlayStation, but then you click it on and then you're actually like in the game as the character, like you're there. So he would always be this Chinese fighter and the other guy would always be this Chinese chick, and they start fighting and then all of a sudden they start making out and having sex with each other. And they're two dudes though in real life. And they keep doing it and it was funny. They're like, fuck it, let's meet up. They meet up. And they kiss for real lives and like, it doesn't mean anything. It's just the game. So what I'm saying is, let's get that game, okay?
Is this your elaborate plan to have sex with me?
Yeah.
Finally?
I want to be the girl because I want to know what a vagina orgasm feels like.
So do most of the girls you've dated.
That's not true. They always tell me good lies. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I came up with this good Anthony Jeselnik type joke.
Okay.
I'm gonna start it off. It goes like this. Okay. So I recently had a awesome one night stand the other night. You want to know how I know it was awesome? Because she couldn't even tell I was there. Want to know why? Because I roofied her. You get it? It's dark. I roofied her.
I'm not giving you any credit.
You got to give me credit for that one. I thought really hard about that, and that was the punchline.
You know, it was kind of funny and implied before you actually add the tagline of roofing someone.
Well, no, that wasn't in the joke. I was just telling you what I did.
Yeah.
So I stopped at the, you know.
So
she didn't even realize I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it ends.
Yeah, but like if you just say that and you don't then say roofie, then there's a few reasons that could have been funny.
Okay, carry on.
No, I'm just saying like you kind of we're on a little bit on the nose on that one. You know what I mean?
So
we were just at the open mic comedy night, and Nick had to sit through like 20 bad comedians and see 2 good ones. So he's all charged up and ready to continue writing jokes here.
So if I would have said that one up on the stage tonight, do you think I'd get like some or like a ha 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 maybe?
I don't know. I suppose it depends on which type, like which part of the crowd it was.
I realize you have to work on like your persona as you're directing these jokes.
Yeah.
Like that's like half of your fucking like stand up, like what you bring.
And that's what I have not done at all yet. I've just been focused on the writing of the jokes. So when I go up there, like I'm basically just repeating them. I haven't figured out what it is about me in regular life that usually makes people laugh yet. But that's what you got to try and put on stage, is just what already makes people laugh about you.
I always thought it was my face, so
Well, you'll definitely have that on stage unless you dress up or something. There's comedians who do that, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, like that
Dress
one
up
guy
like
who wears
the
like a
Riddler?
dragon costume.
Oh yeah.
And then there's
I feel like that's too far.
like Gallagher. You could smash some
For
watermelons,
some
see if
reason,
that's still
dude,
funny.
I really like Carrot Top.
With all those little props and
Yeah,
stuff.
he's hilarious. Have you heard of that Amazing Jonathan guy?
Oh, yeah.
I just recently like found him like a month ago, dude. He's fucking hilarious.
That was one of the things that I loved that my dad showed me was the Amazing Jonathan. He had these old specials on Comedy Central that were always hilarious because like none of his tricks were real tricks.
Yeah, it was just like comedy with bad magic.
Yeah, so he'd end up like stapling the deck of cards to his assistant's face and stuff. Just there's all these ways that he was super funny about it. He's probably a good magician also, but he's definitely a good comedian.
Yeah, I guess somebody made a documentary with him about him because like a lot of people really don't know about him.
Oh yeah.
But apparently he like to this day he's still like a drug addict. Like he has to keep doing drugs because I guess if he stops with
He'll die.
Whatever, like he has like some heart condition, something like that. So if he stops, then he'll die.
What kind of drugs?
Like cocaine and shit.
Really?
Yeah, it's some weird shit like that.
So he basically has like a
Free
wink,
pass.
fucking prescription for cocaine. I'll bet that doctor was like, man, I thought this would only be in the past, but finally in 20 whatever, I get to prescribe cocaine to someone for
Like-
all them demons in your blood.
I feel like when you reach 70, you should be able to do like any drug that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try heroin when I'm 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to score it when you're 70.
Like, can I get any heroin, young man?
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to go for heroin now.
You just never mind.
I say as I'm awkwardly kind of holding my elbow here for no reason. I wouldn't even know where to get that
Where
stuff.
is it?
No, thankfully that's one drug I've never done. But, I mean, yeah, if you're 70, why not?
It's like I've seen like I know there's different types of heroin, right? The only type of heroin I've seen is like black tar heroin. That looks gross. Harry and the
Harry and the Hendersons.
That's it.
That was a good old Sasquatch movie.
Yep. Harry.
With the big dent up in the top of the car.
Dude, all those movies were good. Yeah.
Like Flight of the Navigator. That's one of my favorites.
Never mind. You never watched horror movies?
Nope.
I was gonna ask if you ever watched Puppet Master when you were a kid.
No.
No, never.
Mm-mm.
No. Watch Shazam again. That's a pretty good movie.
Shazam, the DC movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. You said it's pretty good?
Pretty fucking good.
Is it funny?
It's hilarious.
Really hilarious or like stupid hilarious?
It's both. It's like taking, a kid that always wanted to be a superhero and making it happen. That's what it is. And then realizing you're a superhero and you have to figure out what all the fucking, powers you have. So you have to try everything and then you have to throw in some comedy bits and then that's how they made the movie.
Huh.
Yeah. And throw in one typical, bad villain guy in there and then you got a fucking $1 million movie right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a director.
Did you hear? Okay, I love Marvel and all that stuff, but I kind of think it was a cheesy move for them to re-release Avengers Endgame in theaters just to
make
Avatar.
the fucking movie. Yeah.
Just to beat Avatar. Like, you don't think that'll put an asterisk on it?
I don't like whose fucking idea was that? Who
Yeah.
was up in the chairman board saying, "Hey, let's do this"?
With like 13 seconds of new footage or something.
Oh, that's it.
I don't even know, but it can't be much.
You know what people are gonna do? They're gonna pirate that, and then they're just gonna watch it at home, and you don't get any fucking views at the movie theater. No money.
So I saw it at least 2 or 3 times in theaters, but I've watched it probably twice by pirating now too.
Yeah, you really notice different shit as the more you watch it.
Yeah.
Like you embrace different scenes, or you're like, oh shit, I can't believe that was there, and I didn't even notice the first time.
Yeah. And it's funny, like, because I'll rewatch movies like that a bunch. You know, every Marvel movie I've seen at least 3 or 4 times. There's been other ones. But what happens is, like, you remember the feeling of, like, waiting for it. The anticipation. Oh, there's a new trailer out. You see a couple extra scenes. You've got all these guesses. And then you go and you actually see the movie. Then you see it a couple times. Then you get it at home. Next thing you know, you've seen it like 20 times. You're quoting half of it, and it's old news.
Yeah.
It's so weird to kind of mentally map that progression, not only across each film, but then across the 23 or whatever for the last 10 years, and doing that so much. I think that's kind of the superhero fatigue that's going on, is like we've been amped up and then kind of let down so many times now. Like we need a little break or something.
Well, we're gonna be at the dry run after this fucking Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, but then we got the last Star Wars movie coming out.
I stopped watching like the Star Wars after The Last Jedi.
That's the last one they've put out.
No, there was that other one, wasn't there?
What, the Han Solo one?
Or was it? Which one is the one where like Princess Leia dies?
She doesn't die in the movie.
But
if
like
you
in
actually
real
saw
life,
the damn thing.
I did. No, I'm saying like she was in that one movie though. Like she was still alive when it came out. Which one was that?
That was Last Jedi.
Right, and then they had that other one that's already out though.
No.
Yes.
There was a Han Solo one.
Okay.
Totally different time and all that.
So what I'm saying is,
there's only gonna be one more after that in the whole like story of the Skywalkers.
Okay, yeah, we saw the trailer, right? And then that fucking Darth Maul or Vader dude's coming back.
The Emperor?
Yeah, that guy, yeah. And everyone's like, oh my fucking god!
Well, and everyone was also like, really? You couldn't think of a better bad guy to put in the last movie than him again? But it's like...
You know who it should have been? Jar Jar Binks, bitch.
You see that whole trailer, and then at the end, instead of the Emperor's laugh, it's just like, Misa back! Everybody's just like, no! Then I wouldn't be able to see it because it would truly become a horror flick.
Why does everybody hate that character?
He is so annoying.
He was supposed to be kind of like the new Yoda or something, right?
No, I think he was supposed to be like the new 3PO or something.
Oh.
Like the new kind of common, like in the first 3 Star Wars movies, like the old ones, 3PO and R2-D2 are like the comic relief.
Yep.
Yeah, Han has a couple zingers, but like it's
Chewbacca.
pretty much those guys, and then I don't think either of us can approach a decent Chewbacca impression.
Nope.
But like that was really it. So then you do this whole reboot, you try this character, and he is so hated that like in the next movie you see him at the beginning and then he's gone.
He's dead.
Like done.
I watched the new Men in Black movie, okay?
Okay, I haven't.
I know. What's...
You know? Excuse you.
What's the... fuck? Who's the guy that plays Thor?
Chris Hemsworth.
Okay, he's in this, okay?
Yeah.
There's a really fucking hilarious scene in there that connects to Marvel.
Is it the one where he's trying to like use a hammer or something? Yeah. It was in one of the previews.
Yeah, but it's just hilarious because he's fighting and then he like falls and he sees the little toy hammer thing and he's like, come on. And then he grabs it and just throws it and it's like this small and he's like, oh shit, that didn't work. I was like, no way.
Well, and his co-star who plays Valkyrie in Marvel,
she's in that too?
Yeah, she's the
partner. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah. So, and there was going to be, I read this article from a press junket that she did, and they wanted her to say the phrase that Will Smith says in the earlier ones with the "I make this look good" whenever she puts on the suit. Apparently, she turned it down. She's like, I'm trying to make my own character here, not trying to do that. And I think that was awesome.
I was skeptic, but they actually did a really good job. Like I enjoyed watching that movie because they didn't try to bring anything from like the last movies. It's like they worked there, like Will Smith and the old guy.
Tommy Lee Jones.
It's like they worked there in the past, and then like it's been so many years, like they're dead or they're retired and they don't belong there anymore. And then now it's like this new couple thing here. So I like how they did that. They didn't try to like keep Will Smith in the series.
That's good. And I mean, that's a franchise that you could feasibly just pop up one new movie every couple years and it could still be good with just like different
like the one franchise they should just give up on is the Fast and the Furious. Like, just stop.
And they haven't.
This whole like fucking the Rock and that other guy, now they have like their own movie that's
Jason Statham.
Like, fuck, dude.
And the funny thing is, like, The Rock and Jason Statham both did not start out in the first like 4 films of that. The Rock came in Fast 5, I believe.
After
Jason
Paul Walker
Statham
died.
was way later.
Yeah, like that last Paul Walker movie, that was like legit. I don't know. I felt sad kind of at the end.
Yeah, that should have been it.
Because he was dead already, but then they had like that little like brother moment, and it's like a sad song. I'm like, in my life, quarter mile at a time.
That's where real men cried.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you a pretty embarrassing story.
All right, jizz it up.
Not related to that.
Oh, okay.
So a couple days ago, so I got a kilo of kratom online. Devin actually.
He's fucking dropping mics around here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's this stupid little mic stand, and we gotta fix mine.
And kratom is not illegal, so
no, it's this
still
kind of powder.
It comes from cocoa plant.
No, I think it comes from like the Philippines or something.
It's some weird plant where you scrub for rashes, but
All
you
right,
can drink it.
Just
Okay, go ahead.
you've taken this stuff.
I have.
But
I've had rashes.
I mean, it has many different uses. There's some for energy, some for pain relief, some for sleep. It's pretty good, but it tastes terrible, and I don't have the kind of thing to put it into capsules. So I got it online because it's way cheaper to get it, in like a brick of powder. Go figure.
Yeah.
And so usually what we end up doing is just taking a spoonful of it and then drinking some water behind it, and you just choke it down.
Can we pause this for a second?
Why?
I've noticed there's YouTube videos now on how to take kratom.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, they like pour it into the glass of water, mix it up, and then you chug the water.
No, that's worse.
Is it worse?
It's
okay.
worse for me.
Right.
I'd rather taste it as little as possible. I've tried mixing it in water. It tastes terrible. You can't mix it in anything. It tastes bad, and it doesn't dissolve fully in water. It seems like if you have some water in your mouth and then put a spoonful on, it'll just float there.
So crazy.
So then you drink a little more water afterwards and kind of swallow it down all in one little bunch. It's still kind of a chore and it's gross, but it works. So the other morning I had just finished showering and I took 2 little spoonfuls before I was going to go to work. And I'm walking around the kitchen looking for some more juice after I just finished it. And I open the kitchen door or the fridge door and I feel this burp that I catch.
Bop.
And it's not a burp.
Oh, a little puke came out?
And so, well, nothing came out. So I tried to swallow it back down, but that's when I realized I should probably like get to the sink or something.
Yeah.
And right as I start to close the fridge door, it comes up again, projectile, like into the fridge.
Oh.
All over like the top 3 shelves. And I finally get the door closed and I turn to try and get to the sink and do it all again, all over the floor, the cupboards. I finally got to the sink where there was a couple dishes in there too, just
So
covered.
fucking gross.
And finally, after like 4 or 5 goes, it was all out. And I just looked around my now destroyed and gross kitchen going like,
I gotta
"Man,
clean this up.
I just finished cleaning myself up in the shower. Now I got to clean my whole goddamn kitchen before I go to work or else it's going to be gross."
That's the fucking worst, dude.
Oh.
I was like 15 years old. I was living with my sister at the time in Arizona. My best friend was staying the night. And there's like this big shed. And sometimes, it's kind of like Arizona. You live in the desert, right? There's a bunch of like trailers. Everybody, like family, has like their own little area. So there's
Yeah, my
different
folks
trailers.
live there now, yeah.
Yeah, so there's this shed, and they always keep like sometimes random like weird alcohol. So we were like, 15, we wanted to drink because everyone's sleeping. and we found this bottle of Kahlua, so we're like, fuck it. So we started playing like quarters and taking shots of Kahlua, dude. It was so gross. And I remember I started to lay down. And I was like, I think I'm going to throw up. And I could get up. I didn't make it, dude. I puked all in the hallway. And I had like burritos right before, dude. And I had to clean it up.
And Kahlua is dark, too.
Oh, never again.
I've got another one like that. Actually, I've got a couple stories like this.
We got some puke stories, one-on-one.
I'll do one more puke story. The third story is not a puke story, but it's equally gross and embarrassing. So this one, I was living in Beaverton, Oregon, sharing an apartment with my brother Jared while we both worked at Xbox at the time. And there was some kind of holiday that he was coming up here to visit family, while I wanted to just stay down there and have a weekend to like relax. I don't think I was feeling very well. And we had some dishes in the sink for like 2 days. And so when he left, I was like, hey man, I'm just, I'll hang out here. I'm going to clean up the house and all that. So he's on the road an hour and a half on the way to Seattle by the point that I start cleaning up the kitchen.
Right.
And I usually always start with the sink so that you get that clean and then everything else is just easier. And he had made like chicken a couple days before, like probably the night that we left these dishes in there. So I pick up this plate and all of a sudden this raw chicken that had been left there for like 2 days and the smell had been contained by this plate or something. So I moved this plate as I'm cleaning it and all of a sudden the smell hit me so quickly and so hard. I didn't even have a chance to know that I was reacting this way. I just started vomiting all over both sinks, like all the dishes in the sink of like clean dishes I had just done, all over the chicken that now I still had to clean up. Plus every
chicken.
It was so bad. So like I finally let it all out and I had puked so hard from that smell that like my eyes had teared up and I was just like, I was a wreck. I already didn't feel good.
Fuck, dude.
So I'm just a mess. And then I look over all this devastation. And before I actually get back in to re-clean it up, I went out back. In our apartment, we had like a sliding glass door to a balcony. Open the door. I'm getting some of the smell out. And I decided to call him. And so I called Jared while he's still driving up here. And I start telling him the story.
Yeah.
And by the time I finished telling him the story, I don't even hear a response for like a minute and a half. And then it's just like a... And he was laughing so hard. He was like crying as he's telling me like, I had to pull off the freeway. I was laughing so hard.
Fucking talk about fucking a dead cock being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Fucking, I hate puking, dude.
I mean, it's necessary sometimes, but like, in
like
a
the
situation
dry
like
heaving
that,
ones, though. Like,
there's gonna be some of that going on just by people listening to this episode. I bet.
What's this sound like?
That's you gargling on a cock. Moist.
That's a weird. That's some moist shit right there, dude.
Okay, so do you want to jump in with another story before I tell my last embarrassing one?
You got a last embarrassing story, huh?
In that vein, it's not a puke one, but it's equally something that's just ridiculous.
You know, I thought about this recently. As growing up as a teenager boy,
yeah,
you always your main focus is how can I score with a girl, okay?
Yeah,
now,
maybe if you're Nick.
I remember like finger popping my first cherry, dude. And it just
Talk like more of a douchebag.
It's
I swear.
like I know it's only for the show, I swear. But I go back thinking like when I'm doing it and just trying to imagine like how actually horrible I was at it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like maybe like playing like a video game controller or something. I kind of remember, you know, like I didn't even know what I was doing. Does it feel good for her, or is it just a real fuck situation?
It's like you're at the arcade just button mashing Street Fighter against your buddies.
Yeah, it's like
if my finger's touching it, it feels good, right? That's the rule, right?
And then now as I get older, you get like different. Like I've watched documentaries or I've seen like YouTube videos where chicks are like, you know, they like it in the hole, or it's just all about the clitoris when you're fingering a girl. Now they don't like it in the hole. It's just like nobody can understand women at all ever. It's like you think you get to know and you're like, finally I fucking got it. Nope, U-turn. You still gotta fucking learn another life lesson, and you find out you really don't know women.
So are you saying that men aren't that way at all?
Men are really easy to fucking figure out.
Okay.
Have you not learned that by now?
Who do you got figured out?
I got
You got me
I got
figured out?
all you ninjas figured out, dude. I almost said the real word on accident.
I thought you were gonna say NECAs because
I know,
we had
I was
mentioned
like-
that in a previous episode.
I was like, I gotta stop myself. I know.
All of us ninjas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
wonder-
you've got it all sorted out.
Do you think I could get away with actually saying the real word in front of black guys?
No.
No?
No.
They'd be like, ah, and then I'd like act like I'm really retarded, and they'd be like, oh shit, we can't fucking beat him up. It's a hate crime.
No. No.
Oh.
They would enjoy every minute of that ass whooping.
Probably. Why do you? I'm not trying to sound racist, okay? I'm not racist, but
But he's
why
gonna
do?
power through it anyway.
Why do black guys always fight like the same way? Like, why do they like? They like take off their shirt and then like they have this weird fucking like stance and then they all walk the same fucking way. And
Okay, are you talking about black guys fighting or a hockey fight?
black guys fighting like street fights on YouTube, like it's just ridiculous. Why can't you just actually?
I've never seen that happen in a real street fight with a black guy, and I've seen a couple of those. They don't really take their shirts off. They're playing to YouTube.
Oh, were they just trying to get on World Star?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know that, however you saw that video, that
Why-
was
well,
what
then
they were trying to
Why
do.
don't we fucking try to do it then?
Because I'm not taking my shirt off. It's just not going to happen.
Let me ask you this. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get personal. Do you take your shirt off during sex?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
You're not like Kevin Smith. You just keep your shirt on.
No, like if a woman wants to lay with me in the biblical way, then yeah, I mean it's
In the
cool.
Jesus Christ way.
No, if I think that you're already attracted to me or something, like a lot of the neuroses and the self-consciousness that can normally come with being a bigger guy kind of goes away a little bit.
It's funny. Maybe I've discussed it before, but throughout my teenager years, I think right when I was maybe 19, I was insecure with being naked. Like, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I'd keep my boxers on and have sex with my boxers on and just go out of the hole, even the boxers, dude.
You're
It
why
was-
Dave Chappelle made that sketch.
it was the weirdest thing. And then when you're done, your boxers are all fucking wet, and then you got to change your boxers.
Oh.
Or if you can't change your boxers, then you got to sit in that wetness of boxers. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing, and it's just I look back at it now, and it's just funny how I would do that.
Okay, so what age did you stop doing that?
Like 18, 19.
So that's when I started, which is probably the only reason I didn't go through that phase. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I got an awkward hand job before that or something, but like
What's like the prime age you're supposed to have sex? Like, what's the go-to? Because I say mine's 14. People say that's too young, which probably is.
that's their opinion. I mean, you're sexually mature enough to do it at that point. Doesn't mean you're emotionally
Sort
mature
of.
enough to do it.
Like I kind of knew what I was doing. I
No,
called that first time
I don't.
half.
I don't mean knowing what you're doing. I mean like your dick gets hard.
Oh, yeah.
She gets ready for it too. You know, like there's physical ways that you were just able to have sex by that point that make it possible. So in one sense, that's not too early. In the emotional sense, where you kind of are realizing the implications of what you're doing and who you choose and all that shit.
I
No
remember.
chance.
I have an aunt. Okay, I have one of those crazy Jesus aunts.
Yeah.
You know, where like
My
it's-
mom.
It's all about Jesus, or like if she'll like throughout the years she would stop by and she'd be like, "Oh well, here I'll pray for you. Let's pray." And I'd be like, "Fuck, I gotta sit through this fucking prayer again. God damn it!" And I remember we were discussing sex one time. She's like, "You know what? You really got to be like mature enough when you have sex, because if you think about it, it's a really emotional thing, and you think about like you guys are like together as one as you get." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
Fucking-
because that's what the Bible says.
Fucking
happens.
praise Jesus.
And then you actually go out and do it, and you're like, I don't feel like one flesh at all. In fact, I don't remember that other flesh's name right now.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're like in love with someone and you're a couple, I guess there is some emotional shit to it.
Yeah, there can be. There can be an
I
emotional
felt it.
connection with someone you are having a one night stand with.
I know that's weird, isn't it?
That's what I tell them after I've cried.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I love you.
I've never done that on accident, thank God. Never done the accidental I love you. I mean,
I've pulled the fucking come over, I need to tell you something, and they already know what I'm gonna say.
and then what do you say?
I'm just like, I think I'm in love with you.
And then they go, thanks, bye.
And they're like, yeah, they don't say it back right away, and then they finally like fall in love with me like 2 weeks later, and then they'll be like, I love you too.
2 weeks later, meaning 3 weeks into the relationship.
Yeah. I love you.
Are you someone who says that pretty early on?
Throughout my teenager years, yes, and like when I was maybe like 19.
But
now,
did you mean it?
I thought I did at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes like I didn't mean it just to be like, I want to get in your pants, you know. But lately, actually mean it, but I don't say it a lot anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That happens when you're single.
Well, I'm gonna get deep for a second, just like in general, like if my mom or like some close relatives like, oh, goodbye, I love you, I'm like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just weird. I know how family members can be. They're like, oh yeah, I love you too. I'm like, eh.
See, and I get where you're coming from on that. My family wasn't like that. I don't know. I think I only ever heard my dad say it like twice. And
Yeah, my dad's the same way.
yeah, and I don't even know if he meant it. It's just I'm sure he said it, probably was prompted to at one point, but like it wasn't something that anyone in my immediate family said often. Like I didn't with my mom, she would say it sometimes, and I think I would occasionally say it back, but it was like it was just more of an understood thing, you know, and it felt really kind of awkward to just be like, "Oh, hey, I love you." And then for a while after like becoming an adult, I wouldn't say it to anybody. Like it just felt weird, you know?
I know. That's how it is for me.
But then you get a little bit older and then you realize like, you know, I may not be the same type of person to want to say that after every fucking phone call. But like I called my mom yesterday now, technically. July 1st was her birthday. And so when I called her, I did a little, you know, just chat for her birthday because now they live in Arizona. And at the end of that call, you know, that's when I want to make sure, like, oh, hey, Mom, I love you, you know? And there's nothing to make fun of about someone who says that more often or anything.
Well, not anymore. I mean, we're older.
Yeah, but, like, there's still going to be people watching this who, you know, think it's goofy or think that they can
Oh, you love your mom, you fucker.
Fuck yeah. If you have a parent that you do love, you'd better be telling them, like, God damn. After all the shit they must have done for you, you know?
I know.
Like, I think about all the shit I put my mom through, and yeah,
it's
I don't
like,
feel bad about my dad.
It's like you can literally hear your dad trying to say it in his grave right now.
No, the only thing he's doing in his grave is just bitching about how he wasn't with Hart when they got big, you know?
Oh, yeah. Back in my day, milk used to cost a nickel. I'm glad that I could try to pull a dead dad joke, and you're like, oh, no.
No, it's I like it when people can accept that kind of humor around me, because when it comes up like Father's Day, that was difficult, and I tend to make a lot more of those jokes on that day because it's easier. But
I woke up realizing it's like, oh shit, it's Father's Day.
Yeah.
And then I go down to the gas station, I get a Red Bull. I'm like, here, happy Father's Day.
If you a daddy.
I know.
But then, like, I've got my stepdad, and he's awesome. So, like, I made sure I called him on Father's Day, which also happened to be on his birthday this year.
Oh, wow.
So it's weird having them gone, not able to, like, hang out on those days. But
yeah,
shit, you know, I'm in my mid-30s. That's kind of
Dude,
to be expected.
I think it's like, what age do you have like a midlife crisis usually?
I don't know.
Is it like 40s?
I think so. I mean, that's when like the stereotypical age is.
Like my brain, like my inner conscience keeps telling me I'm like 28 or like 29 still, but literally I'm fucking 31, and I'm like, fuck, where did all that time go? I'm fucking 31 years old now. I'm knocking on that fucking 60-year-old door.
Okay, that's like, a bit of a leap.
Well, I'm just quantum leap, you know? It's just gonna go whoop. It's gonna go like that, like a flash.
I mean, you could have a midlife crisis at any point, because really all that a midlife crisis is something drastic you change about yourself to try and feel a little bit younger. But like, with your hair. You tried that. You haven't taken it out of that hat except for that funny Instagram picture.
You know what it is? I've been wearing a hat ever since I liked Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst back in like 6th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
I started wearing that fucking New York Yankees hat, the red one, because I like Fred Durst. Ever since then, I've been wearing a hat every single day. Now, I'll do my hair if I'm like in a wedding or if it's somewhere like fancy. It's really hard for me to do my hair and keep it that way because I feel naked without wearing a hat.
You had Sky spend like 2 hours doing your hair for our show.
That's fine, because then when I'm out being lazy somewhere, or if I'm at home, or I just don't want to wear my hat, I'll take it off and I'll feel comfortable because it looks like it's at least done something.
Right, but you got it done
Professionally.
for the show.
I did,
And then you wore the hat on goddamn stage.
So, you know, it's just it's like you're going to go have sex and you put the condom on and you really want to take it off, but you know you can't. I can't take this hat off.
You can.
Well,
I got a picture of it.
I know, dude. That is like the worst fucking picture ever. And I'm fine with that. I don't care. I'm still going to get good dick after that photo.
Oh, yeah,
but
you'll get plenty of good dick.
Yeah, that vagina is going way out the window.
These videos make me look 1,000 pounds heavier than I am, so you can handle a little bit of Instagram shenanigans going on.
That's fine. And that fucking my coworker posted that fucking photo in the comment board of fuck, what's that crazy old guy's name? That's in
Oh, Gary Busey?
Yeah,
that
dude.
was perfect.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen our Instagram, I gotta look it up. It's a hilarious picture of Nick without.
It looks like I'm on crack
hat on.
hanging out in the alleyway I'm just zoned out of my mind.
Yeah, at Cheeky Shenanigans Podcast is our Instagram handle.
Working graveyard shifts for over 3 years really puts a toll on you and adds 10 years to your body and face.
Oh, and this was funny. After that picture came up and Sky and Abby both commented that you should put it back on.
Put my hat back on?
Then they go on to discover that one of Sky's relatives is Abby's best friend.
Oh, really?
And they didn't know about each other at
See,
all.
dude, we're bringing people together.
Bringing the funniest girls together that we know, and pretty soon they're just gonna like start their own show and not need us.
Yeah, pretty soon.
I would watch the shit out
They're
of
gonna
a
be
Sky and Abby
asking
podcast.
me for sex tips.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, they could always just come here and do their own podcast.
They could, but and I mean, I'd love to get them both on our show at the same time. We do still want to get a couple of new guests on this season at least.
Yeah, we're gonna get Adam Ray on. He's gonna be here next week.
Okay, that's stupid. He was the headliner at Comedy Night at Tony's tonight, and he just killed it. That guy is hilarious.
Yeah, dude, he does really good at impersonations. He knows how to like, I don't know, change his voice to like the character he's trying to describe.
Yeah.
Even that Brad Williams one, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and
That story you told where he's on the couch, he's like, "Oh, what the fuck happened to me?" That would
Yeah.
be funny.
That's something that I really need to learn how to do, is how to like impersonate someone when I'm using another person in like a stand-up bit. You know, I'll just at this point I'll be like, "Oh, and then Nick said this." Meh, 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 meh. There's nothing funny about that. You got to like get into that character, you know.
So
I have to act like
some
Nick.
of those new guys. I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, that's gonna be me. I can't do this." Like the way that I'm thinking, everyone's gonna think the same about me while I'm up there. You know, I mean, they're good sports about it.
Yeah.
But like, I already know what they're gonna be thinking if I feel that vibe that's in the crowd. But the best thing I saw is you gotta like joke about it right afterward. You're like, okay, well this shit's not working. On to the next one. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the very first time I did it, I was expecting people to look at me and watch me and react to me the way I was reacting to people like that too.
Yeah.
And the first 3 or 4 times I did it, I actually got really good reactions, which kind of set the bar a little high for me. And then the last time I did it before I had to take a break so that we could do that EP, the last time I had done it, they'd put me right before the headliner that night. It wasn't Adam Ray, it was someone else, but they had put me there because I actually brought people along and I had been doing so well. And that night, every person except for the headliner bombed. Every one of us. It was just, there's something in the crowd that night that was terrible. And so that was my first true taste of defeat. And that was right before I had to make that decision to basically drop comedy so that we could do practices on Mondays and stuff. And so finally getting back to it, I know it wasn't like the best reaction I got from the crowd, but it was nice to kind of shake off the cobwebs a little bit. And it's a good room for you to try your first time too. You know, that's where I did my first time. That's where like 2 or 3 people tonight did their first time.
Like, I feel like I can get some laughs if I write my shit right and I act it right the first time. I think. I guess if I'm confident, it'll happen. Adam Ray was really good. He reminded me of, like, his voice sounded like Seth MacFarlane to me.
There was times that
I was like, are we watching Seth MacFarlane right now? Like,
and he was just so good, and like it was like the speed that he would speak with, and just there's an intelligence behind him, you know.
Yeah,
setting up things very eloquently spoken. And then he would jump into these impersonations where you really, like Seth MacFarlane, you can tell that it's like a different person you're watching.
Funny hecklers, okay. The heckler that was happening today, like, why the fuck do you do that? Dude. Like, he's good. He knew how to handle it. Like,
he totally handled that.
Yeah.
It was brutal. Not only was there one, there was 2 hecklers they weren't sitting together. They weren't even heckling the same aspects of his show.
Right.
They were just like thinking that it was audience participation time or something, and kept thinking it'd be funny to continue to heckle way past the point where anyone's given them any, you know.
Yeah.
We're all just hoping they like leave the room or fall over with a heart attack at this point, because we want to hear his last fucking joke. And then he finally starts to turn things around, and then he actually built that guy's responses into his segue into his last bit.
I know, yeah.
And then he killed his last bit, and I mean that was some genius way of like taking a crowd that had gotten hostile based on these idiot hecklers, and he made us all laughing again by the end of it. It was genius. That guy is amazing.
Yeah, that was a really good night to go for the first time for me.
Did you enjoy any of the other guys?
Yeah, I liked that. I liked that redhead chick. She was funny.
The one early on with the glasses,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
The guy that was talking about his niece's colors, he was fucking funny.
He's a regular there.
I like the military guy a little bit.
Oh, by the way, the guy you're talking about, the guy who killed it with the bits about his niece.
Yeah.
His cousin is the one who was doing all the heckling in the back of the room.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, we met up with them outside, and we were talking to them like way before the headliner went up. And I thought that it was going to be a great night, and then Carl killed it, and then few people went by and it was whatever, and then that heckling happened.
Was Adam Ray there the whole time? Like, was he in the crowd? I think so. Oh,
which sucked because he wasn't up there for my bit, because when I went up to him and said, hey, nice job, that was hilarious, blah blah blah, I went up after you. He had spent all that time telling everyone stick around for the people who have to go after me, and wasn't in the room for it.
Yeah, hashtag fuck you, Adam Ray.
No, that guy was hilarious. I got nothing but love for him. It is what it is. At the time, I was worried that I was going to have to go up right before him.
Yeah, dude. I was like, well, see, I didn't know it was going to be, he's like a mediocre, like a famous comedian. Like, for real.
He's on TV shows. He's done Adam Carolla's projects with him a couple times. Like, he's a legit guy who like had to move to LA. He was at that point in like
some fucking newbie opening up for that, like, or having to go after and follow that.
It was not easy.
That kid that was doing it and did that whole, oh, look at that. He opened up for Bill Burr. Now he has to open for me. That was a good one to do.
That was a good joke to do. And then he followed it by kind of failing all the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was 2 points in the night where people just killed it. And then the person who went up after him immediately crushed the audience and like down to nothing after that.
Yeah.
It was rough, but like that's what you learn, and you want to know that you can deal with it at any point. Like if I go up and the crowd's been cracking up laughing, I want to know that I can keep them laughing. And if they have turned hostile, I want to know that there's a way that I could turn it around. You know what I mean?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. And this show, what I love about this show is that we just talk. So it gets me used to expressing shit that I normally just bottle up for 34 years before we started doing the show.
Yeah, finally. How many times I was like, Jesse, we need to do a podcast. A few months later, Jesse, let's fucking try to do this podcast. Finally, we get equipment, but it's like a shitty podcast. Now it's like a mediocre podcast.
Yeah. The production quality is above a lot of the local podcasters that I've run into, but they still have far larger audiences.
Yeah. How is that?
It's just that we're new, you know? I mean, at this point, this is July, so we've only been doing this for 6 or 7 months now. You know, I love what we've done. I enjoy the process. I'm in no rush to suddenly be huge. You know, I want to earn it every week when we get out here and, you know, try and make you guys laugh a little bit or at least keep you entertained. That's all that we want, is to just slowly, increment by increment,
We're
you know, just try and
doing it Donald Trump style.
we are here dying for you guys.
Yep.
We want to entertain you.
We're going to build a wall, break the wall, and do another show for you next week.
And then build a wall around that one.
And then
break that shit down.
Just like...
Because walls don't work.
Breaking through the ceiling of the walls, you know?
That motion you're doing makes me think of something else. Like
What, like a
puppetry.
worm? Like a worm?
No, like ventriloquism. Like puppetry. Or fisting.
That's so close.
That's what I assumed you were doing.
I know, dude. Sorry.
You know who loves getting fisted? Sock puppets. That's an old Tosh joke that I love.
Tosh.0.
Yeah.
What time
All
is
right.
it?
It's about that time.
Alrighty then.
Yep.
Well,
So we got the new camera. Thank you, Nick. We're gonna continue trying to kind of get this set up back to good. We gotta get a new mic stand for this guy next, but our goal is to keep trying to make this better every week, and we're gonna have a couple more guests coming up in the next few episodes. So hope you guys have enjoyed these last 2.
yeah. Don't forget to get in there. That's gonna be my saying now.
Get in there.
Yeah. Get it in
You
there.
should do that while you're doing the.
Get it in there.
And my saying will be, have a consensual day. But we
And-
already knew that.
Yeah.
You want me to click the button?
Click the...
We didn't even say this has been another episode of Cheeky Shenanigans. I'm Jesse, aka Random Hero.
And I am Nick, aka Podcast.
There we go. So now, just have a good night. It's like
Have
it's
a
1 a.m. now.
shagadelic night.
We are out.